Good morning and welcome to Namaste today, a delightful way to begin your weekday. I'm Christopher Witecki, your humble host and spiritual life coach. And this audio blogcast is for Friday, February 24th, 2017. Welcome to the end of the week. Namaste. Well, friend, we are on countdown to a solar eclipse on Sunday. For the next 2 days, you'll be deciding and committing to what karma you want to let go. In today's zodiac weather, I'll outline the planets and what you can expect up into the eclipse. Then later in our tea time, considering we have a major eclipse in Pisces, the topic for the weekend is Fore-Giveness, how to do it and why it's so damn important. But first, let's take a look at today's moods and your weekend zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Friday, February 24th, 2017. And my prediction for the global consciousness is sunny and cool. The moon is in Aquarius and on countdown to a new moon which will happen on Sunday in Pisces. And today's Step 6 rules the day, bring in some peace before the ride. Let's take a look at those planets. Well, friend, I believe today will be probably the best feeling day of the week. It's Step 6 Pisces. Step 6 is I receive. And today it's all about opening up to receive. In fact, literally opening up to receive, the sun is conjuncting Neptune in a heavy way. That means we're going to kind of go down a little bit of a vortex here in the next 3 days. You might find yourself staring out the window, totally detached, not hearing anything around you, because we are going into the depths of our soul, and the goal here is to decide and commit what karma goes away forever. So today, actually, you're going to get a good temperature of how your soul is really doing. You're going to be a little vulnerable, but that is so you can open up and you can relax. And you're going to be getting your feelings and your mind together. Now, although we're in Pisces and we're going through some spiritual forgiveness here and we're going through some healing, our mind and our emotions today in Aquarius are really focused on where we belong. And I really think that we've gotten our mind made up about a certain level we belong on, a certain chapter we belong in, a certain family, a certain territory, a geography, a promotion. I mean, that was really last month's energy, but Mercury is finally catching up. And Mercury will actually come across into Pisces for our big solar eclipse on Sunday. But here today on Friday, you're really wrapping up and moving forward with where you believe you belong. And that really is the launching pad to the weekend and the solar eclipse. Now, at the same time today, Venus is at step 12, and so you are opening up to a new strength, opening up to a new path, opening up to a new behavior, opening up to a new way of being in the moment. Could even be opening up to going a new direction in life. And Mars is at 20 degrees today, step 20, conjuncting Uranus at step 21 in Aries. So hold on to your seatbelts. You are ready to go through some rapid evolution here in the next 3 days. This evolution is really where your character is going. But the work of the evolution comes down to really spiritual forgiveness. That's right. In fact, on Saturday, before the eclipse, Saturday is going to be a day of contemplation, stirring around your feelings, trying to get to the bottom of certain things. So I would definitely kind of look at your Saturday as your Sunday or as your spiritual day, because it is. In fact, the solar eclipse technically happens relatively early in the morning in the United States on Sunday, so the work itself is kind of as you sleep. What you go to bed with on Saturday, or what you go to bed with your soul feeling on Saturday, is very much the momentum of where the eclipse is going to happen. So on Saturday, you're doing a lot of processing, and what you're really getting to the bottom of is what you want to let go of, what you want to forgive and forget, what you want to turn your back on. And this is deep. This isn't literal in the world. This is your soul and how it has struggled or suffered or whatever your karma was that you were born to. Truly, many of us are ready to decide and move on. All right. And this solar eclipse on Sunday is going to be kind of like a super pellet back in Pac-Man that used to make Pac-Man be able to eat the ghosts. Like, this is going to be a power pellet that allows you to really multiply this decision. Now, here's the thing. I want to give this out there. You can decide, and I'll talk about this in the tea time, to forgive and forgive your past, and you will ascend upward. Or you can decide to hold on to your old spiritual grudges, and you will go for one more lap around the karma track. So a lot of people are choosing to try it again, to see it again, to go on the ride again because they don't quite get it yet. And many people, many light walkers, many people that I read, my viewers that I've noticed in their charts, many of us are ready to go, okay, I'm done with the childhood issues. I'm ready to move on. So Saturday is some deep processing. The moon will literally cross Mercury on that day, and your feelings and your mind will come together about where you belong. And after you're clear about where you belong, that sets the intention of what has to go and what you're going to cut. On Sunday, I'll just point out that it is a very powerful solar eclipse. It involves really several planets, but in the most part, it's the Mercury, the Sun, the Moon, and Neptune. And this, even if it's a quiet day, is really truly a turning point for you, a spiritual turning point. At this point, if you want to let go of all of the past misery, the universe is very happy to pay for all of it and get you on your way. I really recommend that in this whole process, you are self-forgiving. In fact, that literally is the topic of our tea time today. So why don't you go steep yourself some tea? Let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is forgiveness. And how do you feel when I say the word forgiveness? Do you sort of roll your eyes and grunt? Does it feel like some sort of obstacle or something that hasn't happened? Or do you pep right up and smile like a flower? Because from what I've experienced with almost all of my clients, including myself here, is we do not forgive ourselves, and this is the big reason we are held back. Now, this solar eclipse on Sunday is a powerful spiritual blessing to forgive and forget. Even for people who don't listen to this or pay attention to astrology or anything, they're all going to find that they begin to forgive and forget certain things starting this weekend. This is a huge blast of peace. And I just want to warn you, a lot of times when the universe puts a blast of peace on the earth, that's actually when I find a lot of things happen weird on the earth as far as geology events like earthquakes and tornadoes and things like that. Not to spook anyone out, because really this whole weekend's about connecting to spirit, but usually when God Universe dumps a bunch of peace on the earth, that's when we actually wig out. And so some people will wig out from this solar eclipse, but those people were on the edge, and this is actually a step toward their peace, believe it or not, I think in the higher realm of things. But cutting to the chase, forgiveness. I believe that we're just clearly looking at the planets. There are many of us who are ready to move on to the story we were born to live. There are many of us who know we are part of the ascension process, that we are going to move to a 5D reality, as we like to say. There are many of us who know that we come from Atlantis and we're here to do some cool stuff. And this is the turning point, my friend, in my opinion. And the turning point is, if you want to go on to that jolly cool stuff, you've got to forgive and forget your past this weekend. It's time to let it go and let it flow. I believe people who say, that's it, I'm forgiving and forgetting, and let go of it, you will graduate and ascend to a higher spiritual story now. For people who just can't let it go, well, I believe you'll go for another round and another field trip, so you'll go out with the kids on the school bus again. It's not a bad thing, so no judgment here. And you will see why it is you can't let go of it, why you can't forgive it, why you can't let it go. So the good news is this is graduation day for a lot of people, and the time has come to forgive ourselves. In fact, that's really the big core issue, is self-forgiveness. A lot of people say, I just can't forgive what happened to the Democrats in the election. I just can't forgive someone who hurts another person. I just can't forgive the American voters for this or that. And we literally hold these grudges, or we say we can't forgive our first girlfriend or boyfriend. And the thing is that by not forgiving these things, first of all, you think you're hanging them out to dry. You think you're saying, oh, just you wait. But the reality of the situation is you're in misery and you're uncomfortable because you can't let this go. It's you that's being punished, not them. We hurt ourselves when we don't forgive. And the real issue is we are having a hard time forgiving ourselves for being this experience, forgiving ourselves for something in the past. When we're mad at something in the world, oh, trust me, it's related to something you're having a hard time forgiving in yourself. And if you're mad about like a boyfriend or girlfriend or horrible situation you let yourself go through, you're really upset that you let yourself go through this. You're the person who's doing all the judging. And if you're the judge, you have the total right to call a mistrial. Calling a mistrial says, hey, this is done. I'm tired of this judgment. I'm going to let this case go. You're the only one that can truly release yourself from the burden. You're the only one that can let this all go. And I think this solar eclipse will help you let it go. I think if you take the effort to let something go, it's going to really go. But it's hard because we blame ourselves. And I think a lot of times we ask, do I even have the right to just let myself off the hook? Shouldn't I, be judging and punishing myself? The answer is yes. Only you have the power to forgive you. From my experience, God does not judge whatsoever. He, she does not care. He, she is going to watch your life, eat popcorn, and finds it interesting, no matter what you choose. Because he, she knows the truth, that he loves you no matter what. You're not impressing God by being hard on yourself or judging yourself. On the contrary, from what I understand about God, God is hurting with you. So when you hurt yourself, you hurt higher self. So you're not impressing God by holding on to grudges or not letting things go. You're actually making it harder on everyone. If you take God's approach with yourself, you will be with God. That's what I realized. I realized that to be holy is to treat yourself like God would treat you, with non-judgment and total love. When you behave like God, you are with God. That's what I've realized. You must just treat yourself and love yourself that way. We suffer because we choose a judgmental approach with ourselves. And when we choose a judgmental approach, we technically separate ourselves from God because that's not what God would do. And we think if we punish ourselves, we're going to avoid this in the future. But if you be punishment, then you will law of attract more punishment, which is why we must be forgiveness. We must let it go and let it flow. Self-compassion and self-mercy are at the top of the game. Take the load off your back, listen to your needs, and go with what your needs are. Be honest with what your needs are, and go with what your needs are. And by all means, it's time to decide by Sunday to forgive and forget your mistakes, your trespassers, things that have happened to you thus far. It's time to take a new spiritual day with yourself in grace and give yourself a new start. It's time to decide and commit on Sunday to letting it all go so you can ascend to the higher level and truly start to enjoy some peace, my friend. To me, forgiveness is forgiveness. You're going to give yourself ahead of time. You're going to forgive yourself the credit that life can be different. And you give yourself that credit ahead of time, and you patiently use that credit you gave with yourself. That's the forgiveness. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a second chance. Go ahead and give myself the best odds and opportunity for success. Go ahead and give myself a new chance without self-judgment and give myself a fresh start. Forgiving is really giving to yourself ahead of time so you can get ahead right now. All right, my friend, I hope you forgive and forget and you step into your power on Sunday. And even if you can't, don't worry, I think the universe is going to give you a little extra help. That's what a solar eclipse is. Remember this weekend that I truly love you. I'll see you on Monday with more. Until then, live, love, be.
Live, love, be.